It's Saturday. Got a big meeting with Warner Music coming up this week that we're preparing for at Recoup. And my current goal is to fix the autopilot endpoint so that we are properly scraping Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and Twitter so that we can load in musicians from Warner Records to prepare for the meeting to have a lot of data already scraped. The current status is that I just triggered another scraping of Sweetman.eth, my profile. And if you're one of the 4 people tuned in this early, if you want your profile analyzed, send me in the comments your handle, either on Instagram, TikTok. Tell me what the platform is and what your handle is, and I'll scrape your profile while I'm building today. And so right now I've added a whole bunch of devlogging to debug if the current endpoint is working. The current goal is to understand where each of the 4 scrapers is at: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Spotify. And once I know the status of each of them, move them forward to completion one at a time. And then once each of the 4 individuals are done, get the wrapped, which triggers all 4 of the individuals, get that one working as well. So we'll walk through what happens when I want to scrape an Instagram profile. First thing we do is we validate the agent type. We create a new agent run record in Supabase. It's not a wrapped analysis this time. We start the analysis for whatever handle was passed in. We check if that handle has already been stored. No, I'm sorry. We create a new record for the specific status of the analysis. We're starting the analysis, update the status to be on the scraping of the profile. We use an external API service called Apify to do the scraping, so we get a dataset ID back from Apify. The analysis comes back. It tells us that we have 12 posts available. This is the profile that came back from our initial scraping. My Instagram profile, the dev for On-Chain Music. Number of followers, I just broke 1,000 this week, and I just broke 1,100, I think, today. And it looks like we're going to break into 1,200 tomorrow. So we are steady climbing with consistent releases. And after that, it went and got a whole bunch of my posts. And so if I click on one of these, it should lead to one of my posts on Instagram. Let's see what it is. Yep, there's me and my dad. So those are all my posts. And then we store the social record. We should have already had that social record, so it shouldn't have gotten updated, but it looks like my follower count, my following count are incorrect here. So that'll get flagged. Let me just start a running list of the things that are for Instagram. That's going to be what table would that be? That would be social. I think it's just socials. Inside of socials, we have a link, and then we have followers. Yeah, so socials table, follower and following is incorrect. So let's go back to the running funnel. Begins the analytics. It then starts getting all the comments, and then here's all of the comments. We see that Claire commented, "Learned so much from the stream." Claire also commented, "Dark Side." Mackin commented some emojis. We got some emojis from Sammy Wave. Agreed from Simple Seath Power. From Steph Guerrero, we got clapping flex. From Mackin, we got some more emojis. And so those are all the comments that were scraped. And then it finished the scraping of my Instagram profile. And then we can see that it finished analysis of that Instagram profile. So it looks like everything finished well. And so the next step is to check our endpoints to see if everything was stored. So Right now, I want to make sure that the Instagram pipeline is working totally. How do I define success? Are the comments saved into, let's see if we have the comments. The status inside of, I think it's agent status is the table. Agent status. We need a progress or status that indicates it actually is finished. Agent underscore status. And the first one's not comments. It's actually called post comments because a comment has to exist under a post. And so the table we have is post comments. And we've got 87,000 comments that we've scraped so far. And so I want to verify that the post comments are being saved into this table. It looks like our commented at time is not accurate. So if I want to sort by commented at and give me the most recent comments that we've got. Oh, wait, maybe we do have this. Calling yourself an OG is a red flag, scraped on the 30th yesterday. These look like comments that would have gotten scraped on one of Sebastian's profiles, maybe. And then there's a whole bunch of my comments. So some of them, it looks like these are all tweets. So maybe the tweet comments are using the correct timestamp, but I'm not seeing any comments from today. And I think on my Instagram, I've gotten at least a couple comments on my post today. So post comments, agent status, what else determines a successful run of an agent that I can verify? I think if we get both of those, if agent status is updated, we can reflect it on the front end, which is what our front end needs. And if we can verify that the comments are being saved, then we know that the latest data. I guess the posts as well. We can also verify posts. So let's see if they worked for me, but I've been scraping it a few times. So I think I'll want to scrape a new social handle that we've never scraped before. Let's get started with figuring it out. Post comments, agent status, and posts. I'll start with agent status because that one I think is the one that is going to be the most broke. Let me check the analysis ID. Let's go into agents, filter by ID. Actually, I'd want agent status filtered by agent ID is equal to that value. Or maybe it's ID because it's a status. It's a status and we're seeing 0, and the agent ID for that is right here. Copy the cell contents and let's filter on any status that's been entered into here. Agent ID is equal to the value. Apply that filter. And the results don't change. It's still 1. It says it estimates at 4, but no, it's only 1. And the status is 0 and the progress is 0. So let's start writing out this ticket. Let's go into our instructions, close everything else. Our instructions are the file that I use to communicate with the AI. Instead of just going back and forth in chat, which disappears, my instructions are the map that I write in real time to say, this is the destination. These are the 3 next steps that we need to implement. I then take those instructions and put it into the chat, where the chat then implements the changes to the file. It allows me to separate my planning of where I'm trying to go in the map with the actual execution, which is the chat. So my instructions are the map and the chat is the execution. I like to separate those because the human part is drifting more and more into the design and into the planning. And so giving me a designated space where I do that and I can reflect on it. And this is the only file that I don't have the AI touch. I never have the AI touch my instructions, other than for maybe some simple autocomplete of sentences. This is my place to define where we go in the project. And from here, I take line by line over to the right composer in agent mode, and then it executes and actually writes the code for me. Let's zoom in on Instagram funnel fails. I'll keep that as 0.11, make this 1.12. What we actually want for 0.10 is going to be agent status table, progress, and I think it's progress and status. I don't know what the differences are between these, so for now I'm going to mark them as the same. Progress and status. Why isn't tab working? Actual, progress, and status are set to 0 initially. When the analysis completes, the status is not updated to finished status. And then we'll add in, this is what I'm saying. So I'll let it do out the required at this point. Update the progress and status to the agent status table when the analysis completes. Also update the status record at each step of the funnel, which includes, let's make it explicit. I don't know what our steps are. At each step of the funnel. And then I'll ask a question. Where is a type or enum we can reference to know the available options for progress and status? Okay, let's try implementing this. I'm just going to say, and we'll specify Instagram funnel here so that we only focus on the Instagram funnel for now. I dug myself pretty deep into a hole of making a lot of changes in Supabase and letting the whole app crash. So the goal is make the minimum number of changes so that the front end app starts working again. Please implement step 10. Start by finding the available values for progress and status. Think step by step for when and how you want to update the record in agent status table. Let's see what you do. It's always a dice roll. Step of analysis enum, initial error finished, based on the search results, I see that the step of analysis enum has the following values. The agent status has the following relevant fields. Let's implement the progress tracking for the Instagram analysis. We'll update the status and progress at each major step of analysis. Here's how we'll structure it. Update agent status, pilot. I don't know what the blank field is. Instagram, initial, and 0. Oh, did it just do it for all of them? We got error step. Let me undo that change. Okay, we got error step, error step, error step, profile step, post comment step, segment step, finish step, error step. Awesome. It looks like it's doing exactly what we want. Let's see if this run actually implements those changes. I need to crash my server because so far we have not built it to hot load. That's a nice to have. We'll get the agent up and running again, and once the agent's up and running, I'll send it a new request to scrape the profile. Hey, Sid and Alessa. I'm sorry, that was like 10 minutes ago. I'm not doing a good job seeing what's on the screen. But hey, Sid. Hey, Alessa. Sid is the co-founder of Recoup, so I'm glad that he is seeing that I'm working on the weekend. Let's see what happens this time. So we've got a pilot ID. Let's take the pilot ID and go into Supabase, into the agent status table, filter it by agent ID is our new agent ID. I see a value in here. My hope is that progress or status updates regularly while this is running. Beginning analysis, fingers crossed. Analysis created with B4CF. I see B4CF, and then the middle four are AD14, AD14. So I see that it was created. Now I'm hoping that it gets updated. I would have hoped that by the time it had already gotten the social record result, it would have updated the status, but maybe not. The main goal is when it finishes running, is it going to tell me that it finished running? We jumped up to 500 views, so I'm assuming Jesse or someone on the Coinbase team retweeted us. Oh yeah, we won the agent kit grant. So thank you to everybody who supported us. Thank you to the Coinbase team. Thank you to the base team. Let me do a proper quick little blurb on this so that Opus can potentially catch it for the reels for coming into this week. I'll go to my profile and find the tweet first, and then we'll do a nice little saying about it. Okay, so we'll go up to the top, read the intro. We won $3,000 out of the 30,000 pool of grants in the Coinbase developer platform. Coinbase just put out the tweet. We're excited to announce the winners of the Agent Kit Builder Grants December edition. These 10 builders getting $3,000 each represent some of the coolest projects we've seen built with Agent Kit. See the winners announced below. So I got put second, feeling good. Sweetman.eth built and shared NPX Create Agent Kit app, which is a way to create an AI musician agent powered by CDP's Agent Kit with a single command. He also built the Agent Kit plugin for the Eliza OS framework and shared several videos showing builders how they can get started building on Base. Yes, we did. We published that, and now we're doing more. But I really appreciate Coinbase for giving us just publishing and talking about what we're doing, getting on the call with us. These funds are incredibly helpful. They give us a signal that where we're building is the right direction. And they also help financially to pay myself and my team so that we can continue building. So thank you very much to Coinbase and the Coinbase developer platform for continuing to support the practice that we're doing. With that being said, analysis was completed successfully. I'm hoping at this point this record's been updated, but I'm not seeing this record being updated. So let's copy all the comments and just chat with the chat and see what's going on. We'll start from server listening. Here's the logs. What happened? 1, new row is created in agent status. 2, row is never updated with the new progress status. Please debug using the logs. See what it does. See the issue now. Looking at the logs, I can spot the problem. The initial agent created with initial status when it was called. All our subsequent requests are going to the wrong table. They're updating funnel analytics instead of agent status. Let me check the update analysis status function. The analysis status is updating funnel analysis. Let's fix that. That sounds like a good fix. So we are going to update agent status with the new progress, with the new ID. Let's blind accept, not really a blind accept because I'm reading through it. Changes were made remove the unnecessary selects, added progress, removed spreading of existing data since we only want to update the status in progress, added a comment to clarify we're still emitting the event. We'll get rid of those comments later. The flow should now be begin analysis. Let's see if that works. Crash the server, restart the server. Let's fire the endpoint again. Wait till it actually loads. There we go, we're running. We get back pilot ID, take the pilot ID, look inside of the agent status table filtered by agent ID that we just created. I now see a status of 10 and a progress of 40, so it's at least getting updated. Or maybe it started off as a different value. Is it ever going to change from 10 and 40? Now we've got 7 and 10. I don't know what the difference is between status and progress, personally. But as long as it's updating and at the end we get to final status and final progress, I'll be happy. Analyzing the comments. Let's check out what the step is. What would be step 7? If we start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Post URLs potentially is the step that we're at, if I'm counting step analysis right. And then progress would mean 10%, which I actually don't think is correct, but we're making progress. Let's keep moving in the right direction. We're still at a broken app. So let's get from broken app to working app and then make it work, make it right, make it awesome. Those are the 3 steps. Right now it doesn't work, so we need to focus very sincerely on making it work. Now we're at 10 and 60. We were at 10% before, and now we're at 60%, 70%. What would status 10 be? If we start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're now on post comments, which makes sense. And so finished would be 0, 1, 2. I guess we want number 2 is going to signal when we have finished in terms of the status. Status should be 2 and progress should be 100. We're at 90% done. Feeling optimistic that the Instagram funnel is now updating the agent status. Let's not rush, jump the gun. If this finishes, we'll commit the changes. We'll open up a pull request. While we're waiting for this to finish, I'm going to go over to Linear and define the ticket so that I can link the piece of work that I'm doing to a clear ticket that represents it so that it is easier for our team to plan in the future, work in the reflect on the past, and have a clear understanding of who is working on what in the present moment. Really, these streams are just long forms of content so that I can throw a long 1.5-hour video into Opus. Opus can find little 30-second or 2-minute clips of me saying something intelligent or cohesive, and then it clips it and makes my content for me. So this is me recording my content for the next week. And it's also just awesome that I get like 1,000 views in real time. So something that has changed for 2025, a big aspect that has changed in my content creation is before I would spend hours in production in recording and then having a video recorded and then I produce it. And then after it's produced, I add on captions and then I publish it. And that would take hours or days. Now I just use Opus. I live stream, start with live stream. Content doesn't sit on my computer, doesn't weigh down my computer. I am not the bottleneck to it getting out. While it's being created, it is immediately live for others to engage in real time, as well as have it forever. That's raw content that I don't have to deal with. I don't have to host. I don't have to think about in the future. If it serves me, if it was great, I can take that link, throw it into Opus. Opus then gives me 100 videos that are shorts, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. It's got the captions. It's got it formatted for video. It's done all the editing and production. I didn't have to spend any time on it. And then I just say, okay, I'll pick this video, this video, and this video. That's my morning, afternoon, evening. Schedule it Monday to Sunday, 3 posts a day. I'm naturally going up by like 100 followers on Instagram per day. And on TikTok, I don't even open it up, but I'm going up like 10 or 20 followers a day just by doing this. Build in public, stream it in real time, allow those to filter into your short form content automatically using AI, and then watch your numbers go up by taking your real time practice into actionable shorts that get clicks and views in the short form content. Back to what we're doing. We're using Linear to do some project management. I'm going to go into the Recoup project, and I want to create a new ticket inside of bugs, because these are bugs to get the Instagram funnel working. So I will create a new ticket in here, and we'll call it exactly what we defined it as in the, this is a P0. P0 means that it is breaking the front end user experience, human experience. Humans are having a degraded experience as a result of this bug. And then we put in the actual and the required to state this is where we are right now. This is the actual assessment of reality. This is where we want to go. That is the reality we would like to be seeing. Define both of those clearly to allow the AI to implement the steps that you have defined. I'll tag myself on this because I was the one that built it out. The concept of I was the one that built it out is interesting, as more and more of the code I write is actually written by AI, and all that I'm doing is I'm just defining the steps for it to take and verifying its output. Let's check out a new branch, paste the branch name from Linear. This is going to link the code I'm doing with the Linear ticket, so I don't have to manage that ticket anymore. Click the plus button to just blind add all the changes for now. I'll commit it. Oh, I forgot to add a message. Close out of this. The commit message, we just copy from here, paste it in so that we don't have to think about the commit message, but it's verbose and helpful and not just made change, which is what a lot of devs will leave in their code reviews. Add our check marks that we mark it. And now the moment of truth. Did it actually implement the steps? Can we go to Supabase, check this one out, and see if it's at 100? What's our progress? We're at 100%, status of 2. That was exactly what I was hoping would happen, and it looks like it implemented it perfectly. Status 2 would mean if we start at 0 index, 0, 1, 2, 2 means it's finished, and we can see that our progress was 100. I don't know where we just disappeared to. Let's try going forward to get back to where we were. We're now updating the status. We've already pushed the changes. Let's open this up in a PR and start to get it shipped. I'm going to go to GitHub, Recoup. And then the question I'm asking myself is this actually progressing us to getting closer to the wrapped funnel being fixed? I think the answer is yes, because we need the status to be updated, because the status is what shows on the front end human interface. So it needs to be accurate inside of Supabase. This is going to be a step we need to do on each of the funnels. So doing it correctly here and how simply it should have been implemented here is a good sign that it's going to be a low lift for us to do it on all of the different individual funnels. Take the link to my pull request. Do I have Slack open? I do not have Slack open, so opening up Slack. Track the work. Start with a clear view of reality. Express your goals and your problems succinctly and clearly. And take one small step to get from where you are in your clearly assessed view of reality in the direction of your clearly defined high resolution goal. Repeat until destination is achieved, and come to the conclusion that you never actually reach the horizon. Each time you get somewhere, there's a new goal, a new thing you want to do. And so you end up realizing that this is an infinite game. And if you play it like a marathon instead of like a sprint with an end destination, it can become more fun, more sincere, with higher returns on the long-term compounding interest that you can accrue by playing the game for a long period of time. Share the pull request. Get rid of that cute little picture. How do we test this? I'm going to say out my testing instructions. Run funnel. Actually, this should work live. I should be able to go to chat.recoupable.com/. I actually don't think it's chat. I think it's api.recoupable.com/API. Autopilot, let's see if this works. We got a pilot ID. Let's run the same gamut. So we test here. We can just say test here. You run it. You get back a pilot ID. You take your pilot ID. Agent.id. Now we can go into here. We can filter by agent ID, delete this, paste it, apply the filter. We're in progress. Agent_status filter ID equals pilot ID, which is that value. Current progress is, so we've got status in the photo is 10 and 30. So we've got status 10, progress 30%. Status 10 is what? If we go into these steps, I think 10 is post comments. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is post comments. There's also an act of me starting to understand the code base, because I honestly did not build most of this code base, 90%. And so now I'm finally getting my hands on it, and this is me making my mark on this code base. What do I focus on? How do I focus on it? The AI can do whatever you want, so what are you doing? How are you choosing to focus your attention? That is what is valuable. How I focus my attention is different from how Ziad focuses their attention, and I value how he focuses his attention. However, it is different from how I focus my attention. So it's important that I get my hands in the code base to continue to leave my artistic mark on what it is we're building. 2 and 100, report is finished. We've just had our successful Instagram report. We are updating the status at a minimum. The question is it actually indexing things? Current status is 2. 2 means finished. I'm being very verbose here again because I don't have a lot of experience in this code base in particular. So I want to move slower and make sure I express it properly to make sure that I am actually seeing the reality that I think I am and I'm not hallucinating. Just like AI, humans hallucinate. We think we are seeing reality clearly, and we navigate reality with this concrete confidence that we are navigating this reality, when in reality we are navigating a mental model that is different from the actual terrain. And the more there's that difference between what you're visualizing the world around you looks like versus what the world objectively looks like, the more conflict there is going to be. So that's why there's the goal of see reality clearly, because once you can see it clearly without emotion, without clouded judgment, you can be way more effective at taking your steps to navigate it. We have verified inside of Supabase. Here's exactly what you run. Here's the exact steps I'm able to verify. We get to 100% finished. I think it's not running on my local computer. This ran on our main API. Let's try one more handle. I saw that Sydney commented, so let's try real Sydney Swift on Instagram and see if this one also works. Run it. Oh, is it not working this time? Here's why it's important to test multiple different inputs.